How about that? Did that work? Now, can you guys hear me? Y'all should be able to hear me now. I don't know why it switched like that. Anyway, I just checked it too. That's so weird. So, Ron Siegel says, "Good morning. It's National Fudge Day." Y'all can hear me when we talk about fudge, I'll bet you. Let me fix this here. There we go. All right. Now this one's out of whack. Hold on. Let me fix this one. There you go. Sophia fell in the garbage can. Silly girl. So anyway, all right, now we can hear. Let's get back on track. Remember, if you are here this morning to say good morning, smash that like button, tag another friend, share this post in a group, maybe consider subscribing if that is your thing. If you are on YouTube, remember you can go ahead and get a text reminder that I'm going live each morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. You can sign up for that at hmmr.io/reminder. I can't control when Facebook or YouTube or anyone else tells you that I am on, but I can send you out a text message. Here's George, by the way. You've been good. You say hi to everybody. I can go ahead and send you a text message to let you know that I'm going live, and go play. These guys are distracting. Anyway, let's get on track. Good morning, y'all. Let me go ahead and let's jump in with a quick recap of what happened on Friday. Let me show you the screen. We will dive right in here. And here we go. Here we go. All right. So quick recap down here. Let's zoom in to the 48-hour chart. Let me go ahead and refresh the screen. All right. So I've got this up for a 5-day chart right now, so you can just get an idea. Today is everything in front of this line. So that's today right here. Friday is everything between these two dotted lines that you see here. So this is Friday. You can see that on Thursday, we had our best levels, right? And of course, when you have your best levels on a Thursday, that's going to correspond on rate sheets to that best level here, 6.85 according to Mortgage News Daily. And that is even better. That is even better than the previous best that we had, which was 6.87 right here. So, we've been, flirting. You see rates go down, they creep a little higher, pricing gets worse, then they came back down. And right now we're at a position where things are creeping a bit worse again. And the reason that you're seeing that is because, there we go, annotate screen. All right, is because you can see on Friday we had a big drop. So we started okay, and then it just kind of fell down. Right around here, there were a handful of reprices worse. There weren't many, though. It was just a couple right there, maybe 10 lenders. And then things kind of recovered on the day and ended the day a little bit better. Still not where we were when pricing came out. Pricing came out at 10 a.m., which would have been right about here. So, I mean, pricing came out right here. We were down here. So we were still worse on the day. And then today you could see, boom, we're down even worse. So again, Thursday when pricing 6.85, we were up here. It has since come down, and you can see where we are at. So step up at my microphone, dude, and you're in the way of the keyboard. You got to get down right now. You're getting in my way. All right. So taking a look here, 10-year Treasury yield, you'll notice that same kind of behavior. Rate sheets today slipping a little bit further, by the way, but no big losses. Just losing ground from last week's best level. And then if we take a look here, let me go ahead and move this. No, that's not what I wanted. Come on. Let me move this over. Bear with me. I'm getting it all prepped for you here. What's back here? We can get rid of that. All right, so let's move this over here. So this week is going to be an interesting week. We're going to talk more about that in a second. But while we got this up, take a look. The 10-year Treasury yield, 4.43, 4.44. And it stays right within that range that we've seen. Now, again, we dropped down last week for a little bit. We dropped down this week for a little bit. But you see this red line? That is the 50-day moving average. You see this green line? That is the 100-day moving average. That's giving us a very firm resistance level. We broke through it for one day, and the next day you could see it bounced back up and closed higher. So it's unlikely. Now keep that in mind, and that we probably won't even test this. It probably won't see it drop down to this level ahead of the Fed meeting, but it is possible. And that's running at about 4.38. So it's a little bit better than where we're at now, but not tremendously better. Would you two stop falling into the garbage can? They're so curious, these two, and they keep falling into the garbage can because I'm here and they want to know what else is in there and goofballs. So anyway, if anyone wants kittens, we ship. No, we don't, but that would be cool. They're all fixed up now and they're healthy, and now we got to find them a good forever home. So anyway, with where we are at right now, reprice risk on the day is low. I don't think we're going to have too much to worry about today, but we do have to be ready for it. It could happen. Let's go ahead and put this on the 2-day chart so you can kind of get a vibe for here. We've improved a little bit. You can see this morning right there, but not enough to get super excited about. It's not likely that we see things drop down. We have the 20-year Treasury auction at 1 p.m. today. That's the only thing going on with the news, but that's really not a big deal. So what is a big deal and what is going on, George, stop. What is a big deal, what is going on is Wednesday's Fed meeting. So that's going to be where all the activity is on Wednesday during the Fed meeting. And of course, Fed Chair Jerome Powell's press conference. Let's take a look together, talk about what the current expectations are and the current Fed outlook. So taking a look here, I mean, you couldn't get any more unlikely of a Fed rate cut than what you see right here, 99.9%. Likely to stay exactly where it's at. Market's not currently pricing in a July move. That's only about a 15% expectation that we'll see a move in July. Yes, I know. Look, y'all have to look at this. Look at this guy. Let him. He just wants to sit with me here while I do the report. So anyway, say hi to the people if you're gonna be sitting here. All right, pop this back up here. So sorry. I know I'm making you all sick, and you can see my nose hair. Anyway, what we got going on in September is the expectation of a cut, and that is basically the first time that we expect to see any real move here is in that September timeline. Okay, lay down. If you want to sit with me, that's fine. Then lay down. Then sit. There you go. Sit. So that's what we got going on there. And for the end of the year, really the same expectation that we'll be at 2 rate cuts. 1 rate cut right here, 3 rate cuts right there. So during the Fed meeting, we're looking for second place to change. The primary move will continue to be that we'll see 1 Fed rate cut. Will markets see a dovish message, and will they believe that maybe 3 rate cuts are on the table? Will they see a hawkish message that only 1 rate cut is on the table? Or will we just see the expectation of 2 cuts increase and then one of these decrease, which is probably what's going to happen. So we'll see where that goes. That's going to happen on Wednesday. Now, Thursday is Juneteenth. Markets will be closed. This is the first time that I can ever remember that there was a holiday the day after the Fed meeting. And that's going to make things more interesting because we're going to see markets move on Wednesday, and then we'll see if traders take any precautions heading into Thursday's holiday. And it's not a weekend holiday. It's just Thursday is just a single day holiday. So what do you smell? Yes, it's yeah, I'm yours and it's your hat. I get it. So anyway, I don't think we'll see much of the question is how much are we going to see on Friday? Right. And then where does that put pricing? So it's going to be an interesting week. For right now, we'll keep everything the same and cautiously float. There's really no reason to lock anything at the moment, especially if today does stay to be a quiet day. But like I said, it is an interesting week. We're going to see where the Fed comes out with all that stuff. And don't you easy, you troublemaker. Ron, was there any news after I got off the show on Friday? I don't know. Was there? Am I missing something? Let me know. It's been a long Monday morning for already. So if I did miss something, I'll leave it to you to let me know. But let's take a look at what is going on. The big question I keep getting is how come we're not seeing a flight to safety with the Israel-Iran conflict? Basically, it's all about oil. Now, the good news is they have not blocked certain channels on the path, the ports, the sea. I forgot which port it is and which path it is, but they have not currently blocked it, which is good. But basically, there's concern that you'll see oil prices go up. Oil prices spiked initially on the back of weekend attacks, but the moves eased throughout the session. Still concerns that persist that higher energy prices could stoke inflation. And when we've seen this before, like April of 20, when was it? I had it in my lock advice this morning. And then October, April of 24, and then October, they had some spats. And generally, it would push yields up for a few weeks before they came back down. Ron says he's locking everything right now. Geopolitics is just way, way too risky for his blood. I'm not necessarily worried about that, but I mean, hey, you can't go wrong with locking, especially if we look at Mortgage News Daily as a reference point. We're at some of the better pricing. Again, we generally only go up about 1/8 of a point, though. I don't think we're going to break out of that range. I don't think we have to worry about that. More important to me than the geopolitical stuff is as we tick through June, we're a few weeks away from the self-imposed deadline of the 4th of July of getting the big bloated bill done. And I think that's actually more of a concern to me. Development adds risks for Treasury investors who are already confronting worsening inflation worries about President Donald Trump's trade war and spiraling debt concern in the U.S. So again, we've got increased oil is part of the concern. So oil prices go up, that's going to drive up inflation. Then we've got more borrowing, and that's going to drive up inflation, drive down Treasury yields. So that's why you're not seeing a position where rates are really going to get that much better. I don't think that Wednesday's meeting with the Fed is going to really see a tremendous improvement. But if we do get a bit of a dovish, kind of a vibe to it where they talk about being open to the data and where tariffs are, they're going to continue to play that same beat where they're like, we're data dependent. We're waiting to see where things come out. They're going to get asked about Israel and Iran. They're going to get asked about Trump and the big bloated bill. They're going to get asked about, all of these different components, and we'll see what his reaction to it is and what he says to it. So anyway, my friends, I'm going to wrap it up. That's it for today. We're going to keep it short. Mr. George here is, looking for some love. He keeps jumping in my face, so he's distracting me this morning. Ron, what did I miss? That anything that happened after on Friday? I don't remember if there was. So if there was, you let me know. But otherwise, that's it for today, y'all. I hope y'all have a fantastic Monday. Keep your fingers crossed. Get out there, get some business, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Make it a great one. Bye-bye.